a new topic, limit phenomena. So first, let us talk about quenching, or basically what happens near the wall. What we postponed to the next chapter. This is the chapter now. So let us take this. See, this is I'm again and again repeating this example because this is the simplest type of 1D flame that you will get. So you have fuel coming from one side, flame is stationary, and burnt gases are leaving from the other side. Now the question is, mostly we are using metal tubes. Metal is a good conductor. So it will absorb some amount of heat. Heat will be lost to the ambient atmosphere, right? Near the tube, near the walls. This is what, uh, where if you remember, we got the problem is sine theta, right? So near the wall, you will absorb some heat. So the question is, will it have any impact on the flame or it will not have any impact? What do you feel? Will the heat loss impact the flame in any way or not?
Yes, sir, it will have impact.
So what sort of impact? Will it be good for the flame or bad for the flame?
It will be bad for the flame because the
Correct.
energy which is being used for combustion, it is being lost. So it will need some more extra energy to burn the gases.
Yes, very good. So now let us go back to Maillard and Chatelier theory. Have you this? Does this slide look familiar? This is what we discussed in the
Yes, sir.
right. So what was the highlight
Yes.
of this theory? This theory tells us that, okay, let me again, one important term I forgot to mention. So when we talk about flame, we assume that the flame is self-sustaining. Can anyone guess what that means? Self-sustaining means what? Okay, let me ask you a different question.
Sir, it
So
will go on burning with
yeah, so
like kind of self-energizing itself.
yes, yes. So I would further clarify it by an example. So you all have LPG in your home, right? LPG cooking stove. So when you want to burn, what do you do?
The lighter only we have to use once.
Yeah, good. So lighter, you use it once. You do not stand there with a lighter. Once you ignite, the flame will be able to hold itself. It will not require you to light every second. Correct? So that is what I meant by self-sustaining. That once you ignite, then you forget about it, the flame will be burning itself till you provide fuel. Okay? So for that, for the flame to be uh, what was the word?
Sustaining.
Sustaining.
Yes, flame to be
Self-sustaining.
self-sustaining. How does it sustain itself? Whatever heat generated by burning fuel, some amount of heat is getting conducted to the preheat zone, right? This is the burning zone. From there, zone 2. From there, the heat is getting conducted. So this was the basis of this theory, that because you are giving back some heat, that is why this is burning. Now you see what problem the tube will create. Or let us look at this slide. So this is the basic assumption for Maillard and Le Chatelier. I'm using the same slide. I've just highlighted this, that propagation of heat through layers of gas. That is what keeps your flame burning. Now the problem here is that I am taking out heat. So it is not good for the health of flame in the near wall region. That you all agree to? Some problem will be there. What we'll see, but definitely it is not good for the self-sustaining flame. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us come back to this example. Now, let us see what is the volume and what is the area of this flame. So, what is the volume of the flame or volume in which heat is generated? So, I will say pi r square is the area of the circle. Now, why this delta? What is this delta?
Heat generating region, sir.
No. What is the name of this variable? Flame thickness. This is the flame thickness, right? How much thick this reaction zone will be. So area into thickness will be volume. Now what about the area where the flame is touching the wall and losing heat? That will be what? 2 pi r is the circumference into again this thickness. This has some finite thickness. It will be small, but it is not zero. Okay. So this is the volume where I am generating heat, and this is the area where I am losing heat. Is this clear? Area near the wall, that's all. Where the flame is touching the wall. Now if I take a ratio for a flame, what is important? What is the volume in which total volume where I am generating heat by the ratio of divided by area where heat is getting lost. What we have calculated just now. Pi r square delta by 2 pi r delta. Now if I cancel common terms, I will be left with r by 2. This is okay, everyone?
Yes, sir, it is.
So what I am trying to highlight here is that when your wall is taking away heat, for such scenario, R or R by 2 becomes important. We'll see how it is important and how do we define. So tell me one thing. It is 8:50 now. How long can I go? Till 8:55, 6 more minutes is okay, or should I stop before that?
Sir, you can go till 9.
Okay, fine. So let us try to cover what is possible. Okay, let us look at a video. So if you remember in premix flame, we talked about flashback blow off. Anyone remembers that? I showed that example in a tube. Anyone remembers or does not remember? Okay, anyway, let us revise your concepts again. So let us say this is a stable flame and this will show you flashback. So what happens in flashback, when you suddenly stop, okay, there is a knob for fuel, you suddenly close that knob or suddenly decrease it to a very small value, the flame travels to 10 into the tube. It will go upstream. Let us look at this video. So this is a stable flame and this will flash back. Can you see now? I suddenly stop the fuel. So what will happen? There will be some fuel in the tube. This will go back. This will go inside the tube. Why it is not running? Okay. Everyone is clear what is flashback?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, suppose you are having some burner or something in your home or your industry. Is this a good thing or bad thing?
Bad thing.
It is very dangerous. It will burn your device. It will cause some fire hazard or something like that. So, what should we try to do? We should try to make a tube which will stop this. Right? I want flame not to travel back. I want it to be stable like this, or at least get extinguished rather than coming back. Now, if you remember why we are talking about wall, so now that wall roll comes into picture. Okay. So what do we do is, I want to find a tube which stops flashback. Okay, so what I will do is, I will make a Bunsen burner. I will have a premix flame, basically fuel plus oxidizer coming, and I will burn it here nicely. So premix flame is established. Okay. Now again, same way, what you saw in the video, I will suddenly stop that. If you go to your kitchen and if someone is cooking, he might have observed, if you suddenly close that knob, some grrr sound should be there. That is happening because of this only. Okay, don't try it very much. It is little dangerous, but your LPG stove is designed to be quite safe. So it should not be a big problem. Otherwise, if your flame goes to your cylinder or any fuel storage device, it is very hazardous. It could also explode. So we are trying to avoid that. So what we do is we replace if you see this is happening, if you see flash break is happening, what I will do is I will replace this tube by a smaller diameter tube. Okay, and we expect this cooling by wall to be more effective for a smaller tube. So what we do is we keep on decreasing the tube diameter in steps until the flame does not come back. Flame is stopped. So this is called quenching distance. This diameter will be quenching diameter dt, and it is defined as the tube diameter that just prevents flashback. If you have a slightly larger diameter, it will flash back. Just when it stops, this is called quenching diameter or quenching distance. So what will happen is, if you keep on decreasing the tube diameter, at some point the cooling effect matches the heat produced by the flame. Whatever heat produced is, that is all getting lost. Then the flame will not propagate back. Is this clear or not clear?
Sir, can you repeat again?
Okay, so basically what happens is that whenever you have a flame in a tube, this type of scenario, there is always some heat loss. Okay, but in general, when we have a larger tube, your flame volume where heat is generated is more effective than heat loss. Okay, that ratio is basically R by 2. So if you have a larger R, what do you mean? You have larger volume of heat generation. You agree to that? Just looking at in a very simplistic way. Okay, we'll do the detailed derivation, how the heat loss and all that. Just to keep it very, very simple, I will say that it is two competing forces are there. What are the forces? One force is a volume where heat is generated. This will sustain the flame and this will try to quench the flame. Heat loss is trying to quench the flame. So what are their relative strength or how strong they are? So I can just take a ratio. So I can say that volume of flame is, or the ratio is proportional to R by 2 or R. So if I have a larger radius, I have larger volume of heat generation. If I have a smaller radius, then heat loss is slowly. So let us say this ratio, if this ratio is very large, what do you understand by that?
Volume
More
of heat
heat is
generation is
generated.
very large. Means
So flame is strong. I can say that flame will sustain if this ratio is large, right?
yes, sir.
Ratio is small. I would say that okay, small means this denominator is large. It means heat loss is dominating, and flame may or may not sustain. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Now this ratio is directly proportional to the tube diameter or tube radius, whatever you can want to call. So for smaller tubes, this heat loss becomes very dominant and it also stops the flame after some diameter. If the tube diameter is very small, it will stop the flame. Okay, if the tube diameter is very large, then flame can go on freely propagating. This is what I am trying to highlight. Okay, so is this clear?
Yes, sir. Now it is clear.
So I think I will stop now. We have 2 minutes left. So let us continue this tomorrow.